So, Sunday, that's the day. For a lot of people, though, a little bit of a marker moment is today.
Yeah, it marks the end of an era for the Australian soap Neighbours. After almost 4 decades, the residents of Ramsay Street are dishing out one last dose of drama before the final credits roll.
So the way it works is it's a double episode special on Channel 5 featuring many of the stars who made their names on the show, including, of course, Jason Donovan.
Of course, and he's been talking exclusively to our entertainment correspondent, Colin Patterson, and sharing some of his memories as a neighbour.
Neighbours, everybody needs good neighbours.
When you hear the theme tune, what does it bring up in you?
Well, it gives me shivers, actually. It was just such a fresh, clean start, you know, and a wonderful opportunity. I mean, the story behind Neighbours for me was I auditioned for a character called Danny Ramsay in 1984. And I got the part. The problem was I was still at my school and needed to finish my, what is the equivalent of GCSEs.
You'd have been young.
And I was young. I was probably 17 at the time. I auditioned for this character. I got the part, Danny Ramsay. Can you imagine if I'd played a Ramsay, not a Robinson? But literally 12 months to the day, I got a phone call to say, would you come in and audition for a character called Scott Robinson? And I guess that was the moment it all sort of, you know, started to fall into place for me. You create your own luck, but timing is everything. And this was such a perfect timing for me, and I was ready and I wanted it.
Well, let's take you back in time to the moment you first appeared on screen in Neighbours. This is your first scene.
Wow.
And how are you this morning, John Doe?
Okay, I guess.
All right, I'll bite. You going to tell us your proper name yet?
No.
Look, whatever you did, it couldn't have been that bad.
You wouldn't know.
Your family must be frantic with worry.
It's none of your business.
Neighbours came around for me in 1985 initially, and we started filming in 86, and that was the first scene.
Let's see one of the big, dramatic early plot lines involving you and a car crash.
Because you don't know what's going to happen.
Whoa, watch out!
Wow. It's just interesting watching that back. Let's put the dynamics of a car crash to one side. Honestly, I'm looking at it from an actor's perspective, and it was working. You could just see it was natural.
Here's another crucial part of Scott Robinson's Neighbours career when he meets Charlene Mitchell for the first time.
Oh! Charlene!
You know, that scene particularly was the beginning of great chemistry between the two of us. That went on to other things, you know,
And it went on to one of the most famous episodes. I'd say the most famous episode in the history of Neighbours. Let's have a clip of Scott and Charlene's wedding.
Will you have this man to be your wedded husband and live together in accordance with God's ordinance in the holy estate of matrimony? Will you love him, comfort him, honor and keep him in sickness and in health, and, forsaking all other, keep you only unto him for as long as you both shall live?
I will.
And that kiss is intense.
You go for it.
Yeah, I definitely go for it. But again, that comes down to chemistry.
20 million people watch that in the UK.
It's wild. We knew it was going to be special, but I don't think we ever estimated just how big that moment would be to so many people. Kylie and I were in a relationship, but you know, there was always that are they or aren't they, and that sort of fusion between reality and the illusion of the characters. And we didn't want to give too much away because we wanted to keep our personal lives to ourselves, because they were becoming, we were becoming, you know, public property on a big scale. So we didn't feel that we necessarily had to give that away, you know. So I guess in a way that only added to the excitement and the chemistry.
But you and Kylie actually got to #1. This was your first #1 in the UK, especially for you.
Especially for you. I want to tell you I was feeling that way too.
I sit there and look at this and I'm really proud of that person, you know. And I know she is too, you know, so good for us. Good for us.
So let's have your first solo #1.
Right.
Too many broken hearts in the world. There's too many dreams can be broken into.
I mean, Colin, this is like therapy for me. Do you understand? This is like the best form of therapy I've had in years.
This is it?
Yeah, it is.
The end of Neighbours?
The end of Neighbours, yeah.
How does that feel?
I think it's sad, but I think it's a time to celebrate. I think it was a bit of a snowball effect once one or two of us decided to come on board to do this last moment. But the lasting thing I will say is you never forget where you come from in life. I just think, you know, you never forget your roots. And to see today the amount of talent that has come back to Neighbours shows just how much that show meant to them. I knew we needed to shout out loud about this show and what this moment meant to a lot of people and how proud we are to have been part of something that changed all our lives. You know, the audience. Ultimately, though, this moment is for the fans. This moment is for the people that watched that show for 37 years. So thank you, you know, to those people that kept us going and gave us such a wonderful life.
Jason, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Doesn't mind reminiscing, does he?
He doesn't mind
It's
at all.
lovely. You know, what was the song that was playing? Too Many Broken Hearts.
Too Many Broken Hearts, exactly.
Who sang that? Who sang that? I can't. Was that
Jason, it was one of Jason's songs.
Oh, it was, of course. I was just thinking, especially for you. So when that was playing, and so here, you think you send our reporters out to cover a story, and you think, are they really buying into this? Are they really loving the story, you know, or just, you know, professionally doing the job? Shaima Khalil, our Australia correspondent, was dancing.
Yeah,
absolutely dancing. You were, weren't you? You're totally into this.
See. I thought I was safe because I was, you know, it was still like a tape was playing, no one was watching me, but the whole gallery and you guys were watching me. You can't not dance and move to that song. Well, look. There's so many feelings, so many feelings. You know, Jason was telling Colin there, it's happy and it's sad. And I think this is the thing that you get watching this and being with the fans. It's a happy moment. It's a sad moment. It's heartwarming. It's heartbreaking. Let me just tell you, I am in front of the Kennedy's house and I was just speaking to the actual owners of the house, Miles and Haley. They basically saw a house that was been advertised on Ramsay Street and they thought, yeah, we'd like to live on Ramsay Street. So there you go. They're actually inside watching the final episode of Neighbours. I was among fans last night who watched the finale on the big screen and it was a collective wave of love.
An absolute treat. Some old faces mixed with new, mixed with, yeah, it's just amazing. And it is really nice and feel good. Just don't think about the fact that you're never going to see it again.
Great, loved it. So nice to see so many happy people at the end, such a happy ending. It's been such a big part of our lives, growing up in the UK in the 80s.
It's still such a great show. It should still be going on for another 20 years.
Yeah.
Look, it was so emotional watching the fans, watching the actual show. No spoilers, but I'm going to tell you this. Get the tissues ready. You're going to love it.
There you go. We managed to keep it quiet. Thank you very much, Shaima. Lovely to see you there.
Absolutely. No spoilers here at all ahead of that showing on Channel 5 this evening. The time now is 8:59.